Are you afraid of the dark? And I did this time. We're live. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing out there? And why am I not hearing myself through my headphones? What is up with that? So,
can everybody hear us? I don't hear myself through mine either. If it makes it feel any
we've got sound going out there, so I think everyone can hear us. But
hey, Lena, Nicole, Jessica.
I hear you, but I don't hear myself. What's up with that? Oh, there I am.
I don't hear myself.
I had myself turned down too low here. There you go.
That's good.
See, we just got to be smarter than the controls. That might be asking a lot of us today.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Welcome. welcome.
I got to show something off right quick. So Stephanie and Bella went to Walmart a while ago.
Wally World.
And they came back and said that...
No, that was all Bella. They
came back and they said that, hey, they have Halloween stuff out already.
Oh, I was in heaven.
Like, awesome, of course, because Halloween's always better than anything else. And so Bella told me to get up and come over to her and close my eyes. And when I did, she told me to open my eyes. And then we had this. Sitting up. So I got a new coffee cup. Stephanie should have gotten herself a new coffee cup because her other one broke.
I don't want to talk about it. We talked about it.
But my new coffee cup had this in it too, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I can't help but think that it kind of looks like Jack a little bit.
I know, right?
Jack Skellington. I wonder how many people actually have Nightmare Before.
Shit.
What?
I left my list downstairs, so
your list. Oh.
You're gonna have to keep talking for just a minute. I'll run and go get it. I'll be right back.
Oh Lord. Okay. So I apologize if I keep looking down. It's because I have my phone on here. It's the only way I can see the chat going on. So let me say hi. So Nicole and Jessica and Lena. And Kelly, hey, Kelly, I don't know you, but welcome, and I'm so glad you found us. And Kelly actually won one of the posts that we did over the past few days. She won a rune set, which is phenomenal, and Kelly, you're going to love them. Absolutely love your new rune set. Yeah, anyways, so what's going on, everybody? I hope everybody had a fabulous Labor Day, and let's see, we had a great Labor Day. We didn't do much, which was awesome. That's always awesome to have a day that you just relax and whatnot. And then, hey, he got the list.
Huh?
The list.
I got the list.
I was just saying how Kelly is watching, and I was like, hey, she got the rune set. That's so exciting.
Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kelly,
Kelly
yes.
got the rune set,
yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry, I was thinking two different people. All right, so.
Oh, this coffee's just so good.
All right, so What have you been talking about? Are we ready
I've just
to do
been
the drawing?
doing what I do best, and that's talk. So I was talking about how Labor Day we didn't do a lot today, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Jessica said that she got lots of plant shopping and redecorating. Well, it is September.
Right.
Summer's on the way out, and I'm ecstatic about that. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so I have to tell everybody what happened. Actually, no, let's do the drawing. Let's do the drawing first. And then we'll talk about what happened.
Oh, your little experience?
Ooh.
Yes. Well, we're going to have the perfect chance to
That was crazy.
Visit that subject here in a little bit at some point in time during this show.
Oh,
so
yes.
We have
I'm really excited for our guest.
Yeah. We have you talked about our guest?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So
Nope. Go ahead.
Jessica Swartz of I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right.
Swartz
of
My lisp is back.
Red Table Tarot is joining us tonight, and
There's an echo. There's a really bad echo. It sounds like a terrible drive-through fast food window echo.
Is it an echo, or is it?
No, it's not an echo. It's like a
How
terrible...
about now? Is that better?
I feel like I'm going through Burger King and it's wah, 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 wah. That type of a sound.
Jessica Swartz of Red Table Tarot is joining us, and I'm really looking forward to the conversation with her because
me too.
I think it's going to be really good. We have a lot in
she
common.
Said you have it right. You have it right.
Oh, cool.
On how to pronounce it.
So I'm not totally dumb.
No, you are not dumb.
My microphone is one-sided. That's what my problem is. I don't know about yours, but I can. It's a different sound over here than it is over here.
Yeah.
But the balance is right.
I don't know
where it should be.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. It's hard to. I'm just going to turn it like this so that it all catches on that one side. Anyway, Jessica Swartz of Red Table Tarot. I'm really looking forward to the conversation because we've got a lot in common and a lot of interests in common. But before we bring her on, we need to do this drawing. And if you guys are wondering what drawing we're talking about our business.
I have the best idea on here. Since we're live, I think that one of the people watching should pick the number.
Okay.
I just thought about that. I think Lena should pick the number.
Who, Lena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I think Lena, I want you to pick the number.
Because Lena's name is on the list.
Well, I know, but
no one has no one but me has seen the list, so...
Yeah, I haven't even seen the list. But yeah, Lena, hopefully she's still watching at the moment. Lena, are you watching? Let's see if she comments.
But, or we could just do the random number generator.
Well,
we'll figure that out. But first off, I want to finish telling about the drawing itself because it has been it's been about a 6-day long process because on our business page, Huginn and Muninn, Beyond the Veil.
If you haven't checked it out, check it out.
The page where...
Hey, Dave. And Lena is watching, by the way.
Okay, cool. The page where I sponsor, my rune readings and stuff like that. We hit 300 likes a little bit ago, about a week ago. And we wanted to do something for the people that have supported us. Yes. And so we had 6 days worth of giveaways. We gave away some readings. We gave away some cool things from our product page. And today is the final drawing, and it is for a full a full 24 rune cast reading. These things can last bare minimum an hour. Some of them, they could even go as high as an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It's crazy the kind of detail that can come out in these things. So,
hi, Shannon. She said good evening. Hey, Shannon was one of our winners too.
Yep. And so we've done 6 days worth of drawings. That's the final one tonight. Oh, and plus some artwork going in the drawing tonight. Bend rune.
Oh yeah.
Custom bend rune designed after the message of the reading that you win. So yeah, I mean it's going to be cool.
Hey, will you explain what a bend rune is?
A bend rune is when you take 2 or more, usually 2 to 3 runes, but it can be more than that. It gets a little bit sticky or complicated when you go more than 3, but 2 to 3 runes usually, and you combine them into one symbol or picture that has a significance to the person that designed it or that it is designed for. So, and it's I love bend runes. They're really, really cool. So,
I was trying to get him to wave, and his arms are just too short.
We've had a few winners. We gave away a 5 rune draw reading, a 7 rune draw reading. We gave away a set of runes, our really nice antler slice button runes carved and painted by hand, and we gave away a handmade antler tip necklace with a bend rune on it, and
the tree reading.
The world tree reading,
Yep.
11 rune draw reading.
Yep.
And so tonight's the last one. So how are we going to do this?
I still literally, because earlier today I kept thinking about Lena, and I really, I think that she, I have to specify this, that her and I have had no contact. You made the list like a little bit ago. I haven't even seen the list, so I don't even know how he did the list specifically to get everybody included on the list who participated in our little thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. All the drawings, you could only enter those drawings once, and it was one per day. But this one, everyone that has entered a drawing so far got their names put in the hat. Plus, there was an extra chance to get their name put in the hat today. So
okay, all right, Lena. Jessica said, Lena, you have been on everyone's mind. How many is there?
We have 71. So we need a number between 1 and 71.
All right, Lena, give us a number between 1 and 71. Lena said, evidently responding to Jessica. Okay, Lena. Brrr.
It's all on you.
It's all on you. Ooh, what number do you think she's going to pick?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
But we have some other cool stuff to go over tonight. Just interrupt me when we get a number across, but I'm going to just talk a little bit so we don't have dead air.
She said 32.
32?
She said 32. What number did I say earlier? 33. I literally, in my mind, I was like, ooh, I bet it's going to be number 33. And Lena picked 32.
So
it's fantastic.
Number 32 is Kelly Thorick.
Oh, wow.
So that is actually her second winning draw.
Wow,
so
Kelly.
Awesome.
Yay.
So she's the one that won the set of runes, and now she gets a full 24 rune cast and some artwork to go along with it. So I will just
congratulations, Kelly.
You said she's watching, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
She is. Yay! Congratulations.
Very cool. So yes, Kelly.
I need to find her on Facebook. I don't have her on Facebook.
Yeah.
Kelly, I'm gonna find you on Facebook.
So yes, Kelly, we will be in touch, and we'll get all this set up and get your info to get your prizes out to you, and we'll get set up for your readings as well. So we've got all the other people, because it was over Labor Day weekend,
Kelly,
and I couldn't be available. I wasn't available for readings over Labor Day over the weekend, so I've got some catch up to do there, but it's all good. It's all good.
You'll get caught up.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm dying here. So, hey, one more time though, we want to thank everybody who participated and everybody who supports what we're doing and helping us get the word out for this fantastic gentleman over here and what he can do. Stop
whatever.
it. Well, anyways, yeah, what he can do. Yeah, but like I said, anybody, I forget we're on Darkness Live at the moment because we're talking about Huginn and Muninn.
Oh, well, yeah, right, yeah, gotcha.
Which I don't know why I'd forget, but anyways,
are we ready to move on along with things here?
Yes, but again, congratulations, Kelly. That's so exciting. You're gonna love it. I don't know where she lives, but I wonder. If
I'm not sure either.
I wonder if she's in the same time zone.
No idea.
I don't know.
So
we'll find her.
Yeah.
We'll find you, Kelly.
Okay, so I've got to get logged on my phone here, and we will.
Oh, Lena, thank you for us putting you on the spot like that.
Yes, thank you, Lena.
You're
awesome.
She is awesome. Oh, she is.
Okay, so here I just have to track down Jessica's phone number here somewhere. I should have put it.
Oh, I totally saved it. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
No, here it is.
She lives in New York? Wait, what? Does that say New York? Right? New York?
Yep,
wow,
that's what it says.
She lives in New York.
Wow, very cool. Very cool.
Oh, wow. How did she find us?
I have no idea. Very cool. All right.
That's so cool.
We're gonna go ahead and get our guest for tonight on the phone. And here we go. And one more step here.
Ring-a-ling, Jessica. Ring-a-ling.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Doing fantastic. Man,
Your phone number kind of throws me off because it shows up as scam likely.
Oh, does it really?
Really?
We're scammers.
I guess so. Wow.
Oh, wow, that's really funny.
Well, yeah, and the funny part about that is that I had some trouble on with one of the posts on Facebook with one of the contest posts that I had made on the Huginn and Muninn page. Because it wouldn't let me reply to the post to announce a winner or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it had a little flash window that popped up that said, you have been banned from this function because some of your posts have been flagged as spam. I'm like, what?
Was that when you were talking about you thought you were in Facebook jail? Is that what that was regarding?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, he was like something about, I think I might be in Facebook jail. And I'm like, what the hell for?
Yeah.
What?
I guess we're just scammers and didn't know it. How are you doing, Jessica?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are doing great.
Hey, thank you for being on with us, by the way.
Hey, no problem.
After our conversation...
I would have been here either way. So.
Right? After our conversation the other night when you and I were talking, I was like, man, this is going to be an awesome, awesome chat.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun. So I guess first off, for those out there that haven't had the pleasure of visiting with you before, or haven't come across you on Facebook, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I started studying tarot probably about 3 years ago, and it wasn't until I want to say June that I actually started my tarot page.
You're so pretty, by the way. You are so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
There's her little picture. She's so pretty.
My friend actually took those for me not too long ago, just for my tarot page. So
she did a really good job.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is there? I'm taking a whole bunch of courses right now too. Dream interpretation, Kundalini Reiki. Let's see what else is there. Spirit guide communication, animal communication, just a whole bunch of different things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, I have to say that you probably remember this too. I don't remember how it came about, but it was like on your Red Table Tarot page or whatever, and it was like, you remember this? It was like you just it was like random couple cards or whatever stuck out, and literally when you did that little reading for me without ever talking to me or knowing me or any of that stuff, I mean, you were, when I was reading your reading for me, just based off the cards that fell, or I'm not sure how you do that, if it's just like what just calls to you to pull card wise, or if
I let them just fall out.
You just literally, okay, so I think there was like, what, four? For me, there was like 4 cards that fell out. And
probably, yeah.
when I was reading it to Jeremiah, he was just like laughing because it was like spot fucking on. Like it was spot on, Jessica. I was like, okay, this girl knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she's got your number.
Yeah, she does.
I had a pretty good teacher though, so, Miss Lena.
Right? Oh, Lena.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. She's been a mentor of mine for a long time as well. So wouldn't have it any other way.
So, Jessica, I have to ask, like, first and foremost, like, what was the moment or the circumstance or the situation that introduced you or made your ears perk up to reading or just the whole metaphysical realm of things? Like, what was the very first initial thing you remember?
Well, like, after our talk the other day, I kind of got to thinking about it all, and, like, 2016 is when I left my 8-year-long relationship. We were living in Kentucky at the time. And I just woke up one day and said, screw this, I'm leaving. Took the kids and we left.
Wow.
I don't know. It was just from then on, like, everything for me just changed.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
Crazy. Yeah,
that happened
really
for
crazy.
me too.
Like, I never would have thought that this would be something. Like, I've always been into, like, the paranormal side of things. But I never thought, I'd be a tarot reader. So.
Right.
There I am.
So you said you just kind of up and left and took the kids and, were gone and started anew. And it was probably, once you finally did it, it was probably like the easiest decision and you felt like a weight was totally lifted, huh?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing how that works? Mm-hmm. It is. It's like the easiest, once you finally make that decision and you make it and you do it, it's like the best feeling in the world.
But it was scary, I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea what I was going to do. But all my family's in Kansas City, so I have, like, a huge support system here. But
that's great.
It was still a little terrifying.
Right. Well, big change like that is, especially when there's kiddos involved.
Mm-hmm.
It can be so scary, but I'm proud of you. I didn't know you back then, but I'm glad I know you now. I'm proud of you for doing it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
I am too. It needed to happen.
Absolutely. So then, did you, okay, so when all that, I'm going to call it your transformation or your awakening, when all that started to happen, did you encounter somebody that really had an influence, or did you just kind of stumble upon things, or how did that play out?
I think I honestly just stumbled upon things. Like, I think I was watching something about conspiracy theories,
Ooh.
And somehow something else popped up on YouTube, and then I watched that, and then I was like, okay, we got to look more into this stuff. So that was pretty much the start of it all.
So it's kind of like looking back, it was like synchronicities that kind of led you to the path that you're on now. I love people's stories.
Right.
I love stories about how people get into all of this. Okay, so how did you come up with your name for your business?
I was in meditation one day, and for some reason, like, I had asked, like, if I had a business name, what would it be? And during meditation, a red table popped up, and I'm like, okay, Red Table Tarot. I like it.
Oh, I love it.
That's very cool.
That's really, really awesome, actually.
That's a lot like very close to the same way we came up with the names for our business. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Well, and at the time I was a redhead too, so I mean,
there you go. Then you could have called it Ginger Table Tarot, right? Oh goodness.
So you mentioned a while ago that you have always been interested in the paranormal side of things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I know, like, growing up, like, me and my sister, we used to sleep in the same bed, and we would always see like eyes in the corner of the room, like, every time, just staring at us.
Oh God!
And it would kind of creep us out, but at the same time, like, we kind of grew up around like watching scary movies and stuff like that, so it didn't like really scare us to where we wouldn't sleep in there. But just little things around the house that would happen. My mom, she had some like the best stories about like her bed lifting up and slamming back down, and I mean, we were just raised on the paranormal side of things. So
it was always kind of not the norm, but it was always kind of like nothing really surprised you. Maybe startled you, but never
startled,
really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm more aware of things, like I'll be cleaning something and out of the corner of my eye, somebody's just standing there. And it's like, okay,
right.
Not while I'm cleaning. Off guard.
So do you, do you have mediumship skills then, or are you, is it more
empathic?
Empathic or
right
intuitive?
Now, yeah. More empathic. I definitely want to learn more about the mediumship side of things, though.
Okay, very cool. So that's for those of us that, or for those out there that may not know, explain to us a little bit about what you mean when you say more on the empathic side of things.
I just feel things, whether it's physical things, emotional things. Being out in large crowds, it really kills me sometimes because it's so much energy to take in all at once. And until I actually took Lena's class, I didn't know how to properly protect myself from all of that. So it can get a little overwhelming.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
Right. I completely understand that because I had come to the point that I had actually completely blocked all of my gifts out until I don't know. Well, I actually have to say it was right around the time that I started getting to know Lena. I think she had some sort of
pull,
something going on behind the scenes to get me to start learning how to actually experience some of that without it being so destructive for me. But I wasn't even admitting to myself at that point in time that that's what was going on. But she tells me up front every time I talk, or every time it comes up in conversation that was she could see it and feel it right off the bat. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can blame it all on her or not. But
well, I think your grandma probably had a lot.
Yeah,
to do with it.
Mima probably had a little bit to do with it.
Lena just kind of nudged you. She just kind of had the poker and was like, yeah, right.
That I believe.
But yeah, I had myself so blocked off I couldn't. I wasn't even able to acknowledge any of this stuff for myself, let alone to anyone else. And just because, I mean, just like you said, being in a crowded room or in a crowded place was actually destructive to me.
Well, you've seen me when we're somewhere shopping or something, and I start, as I like to put it, or you like to, squirreling out. I think that's how, from a young age, when I would get to a point where I'd become too overwhelmed by my surroundings and too many people, I literally, I don't know if it's ADD or what it is, but it's like I can't focus, I can't, it's terrible, I have to get out. I gotta get out now. For real, you've seen it. I'll never forget.
Yeah.
The first time we went shopping together, we went to World Market, and, well...
Oh, my God.
Well, let's just say we've never gone back to World Market. Anyways, so Jessica, can you pretty well, with being intuitive and empathic, can you pick up on kind of what Lena picks up on with people? Can you do that? You can pick up on what other people's gifts are?
I don't feel as if I'm as good as she is, but it definitely takes a lot of practice.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
She said she does that to a lot of people. Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
It's one of your callings, Lena. Anyway.
Lena just knows stuff about people that, like, she shouldn't know. I mean, upon just meeting her, she just knows everything about you.
Right.
And
crap.
I bet there's stuff that she's like, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that.
Oh, yeah. It's come up in a reading or two before.
She said that during a couple of our readings. So.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't have to go into that.
Oh, God.
Gonna make me turn red here.
Yeah, me too.
I probably know what you're talking about.
Anyways, moving on. So have you had anything like crazy and like hard to explain happen to you recently, Jessica?
Well, we get a lot of activity in our house. We've actually had a couple mediums over, and they've both said that we have portals in our home. One of which is downstairs. Like, we have our laundry room that's attached to the garage, so we'll hear a door like slam shut in the middle of the night, and nobody's awake. There's no air draft or anything down there, so that's one thing that like really creeped us out at first. But now we're just kind of like, okay, somebody's just walking in, you know, or doing whatever they want here. But other times around the house, it's just literally I'll see somebody standing out of the corner of my eye watching me.
Ooh.
Let's see what else. Oh, look, a tapping sound every now and then. We'll get that.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, and see, now I'm just thinking of everything that's happened. So there was one day I was walking out of the hallway, and all of the rooms are in the same area. So I'm walking out, and I swore I heard one of my kids say mother. And my youngest is the one that usually calls me mother. So I'm like, what, Riley? And she's like, I didn't say anything.
Oh, dear.
I'm like, you didn't just say mother? And she's like, no. I'm like, it makes you feel crazy sometimes because it's like, I know I just heard somebody say it.
Right.
But, yeah.
So, talking about that in specific, do you have that? I mean, it was that kind of an isolated incident for you with something mimicking someone?
Like the clear audience. I've heard my name called out before, but nothing ever more than just my name usually.
Okay. I was just curious about that because I've had several incidents, both in disembodied voices. For those watching that may not know, a disembodied voice is a voice that you hear audibly with your ears, but that you can't track a source for. I've had things come up with disembodied voices as well as EVPs, which is a voice caught on an electronic recording device that you don't hear at the time that it was recorded, where it has actually it's been a voice that has actually either mimicked me or some of my friends, but it's always in interaction with me. And so I was having a conversation with someone fairly recently where that came up, and we're just, you know, it just kind of sparked my curiosity. I never had really seen the pattern on that before, but I mean, I probably have. If I can ever get the old hard drive in my old evidence computer, you know, unloaded, I probably have a half dozen to a dozen examples of that. And so
I'll hear like frequencies and whatnot, but there was one night I know I had frequency that went on probably a good 5 minutes, and it was driving me crazy because nobody else could hear it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I've had that happen a few times, but not
for a long period of time.
Right.
Usually it fades right away, but yeah, it didn't. That it was,
Oh, man.
drove me nuts.
Oh, man. So I just have to say this. So Nicole, she's watching right now, and her comment, she says, does anyone else feel other people's illnesses in the pharmacy aisle? I can't stand hospitals or mental health facilities. Don't even ask me to go into liquor stores. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. So, do you? Jessica?
Yes.
You do?
And my grandpa, a couple of years ago, I quit my job to actually take care of my grandpa because he got ill. He actually ended up having tuberculosis. So he was in and out of the hospital up until about 6 months ago, probably about every month or two with lung issues.
With
And
TB?
I dread it every time.
With
No, the first time was TB. The rest of it's been like bronchitis and pneumonia.
So I'm not were you exposed to it? Like, I don't know how that actually works.
All the kids, everybody. Like, they had initially thought that it was, what did they think? Cancer. So they had him thinking, he's pretty much on his dying bed, this and that, and then they ran tests and found out that it was tuberculosis. So then me, all the kids, everybody had to get tested for it. It was crazy. Yeah.
Jeremiah, how is TB transmitted? Droplet?
It's
through the air.
Yeah, it's airborne droplet. I mean, direct contact. I mean, it's nasty stuff.
When they found out he had TB, did they quarantine him immediately?
Oh yeah, in the hospital.
Holy
yeah.
They all had their little get-up suits that they wore in the room.
It
has masks every time.
Has to be in a negative pressure room, which means air only goes into the room. It doesn't come out.
That sounds like a movie that would give me nightmares. Talking about that.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I guess the nice part about it, though, is he didn't have to worry about, somebody else being in the room with him. So he always got, his own room. And he liked that. So.
Right.
There you go. Got to look at the silver lining there, the positives. So I will say that this is going to sound morbid as shit, but any time that I'm ever around somebody who has cancer, I can smell it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else out there knows what I'm talking about, but cancer has a very distinct smell, and so does death, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just saying. But
she works in hospice. That's what she means by that.
Yes. Yeah. So, literally, I work around a lot of awful, awful things, but I love my job. But anyways, But no, the cancer one, it has a very, very distinct smell, and it's almost instantly you can smell it. And you can also smell it when somebody's disease is progressing, it gets stronger, and it's, that thing is so cute. It can be Jack number 2.
She's talking about my little stuffed animal that Bella got me.
Speaking of skeletons... You got to tell them what we found over the weekend.
Go ahead.
No, you're the one who found it. Take credit for it.
We were over at the farm this weekend.
Sorry,
and
side story.
Rabbit trail. You get used to this when you talk to Stephanie a lot. So I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But
keep it exciting.
So we were out just. Out on the quads, exploring the ground over there. We hadn't been over there at all this year yet, and everything was kind of overgrown.
Really overgrown.
Because no one's had the chance to get over there and do any maintenance.
Well, Mom and Dad have gone, but anyways, there are only 2 people, and Mom's not going to get out there and get on the mower or anything. Dad does, but anyways, so we have this land out in. In Kansas, it's about an hour from us?
Yeah.
It's about an hour from us in southeast? That is southeast from here, right?
Yeah.
Southeastern Kansas. And there's a watershed lake, and the cool thing about it is my kiddos, they're the 6th generation for this place. And once my parents took it over from my grandma and grandpa, they did the smart thing when my grandpa started to get sick, and they willed it down to my aunt and my mom. And anyways, then turns out, so my mom and dad have it now, and we go over there, and there's living quarters over there, and it's beautiful. It's in the Flint Hills. Sorry, that's what we're talking about. That's where we've been the past 3 days. 3 days?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3.5 days. Anyways, go ahead.
So we're out just cruising around on the quads and exploring a little bit, and I came around this one bend that was really overgrown, and just happened to look down, and there's an almost completely intact and very, very clean deer skeleton laying there.
Oh, I was so excited. Jeremiah was like, "Oh my God!" And the weeds were like really tall, and I'm like, "What? You know, I thought it was a snake or something." And no, man, it was a. And then I got on the 4-wheeler and I drove up to where I could see what he was. I was like, "Oh my God, there's teeth! I can do something with the teeth." So we brought it home. I was so excited. I have this really odd fascination with teeth, animal teeth, human teeth. I saved all my kids' teeth that they've lost over the years.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, man, I could totally like make something and sell something with their teeth. And then I thought, better not be selling my kids' body parts.
Probably not.
Probably not.
That might not.
Stick with the deer.
That might not be a good idea. But anyway, so we bagged it up and brought it home with us. So we have this deer skull, or body, like even the vertebrae were still intact. Did they survive the trip home intact?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're gonna do some cool stuff with that for our booth and whatnot. So
yeah.
But you had other questions.
Oh, okay. So this is really creepy, and it was really creepy for me. Okay, and that says something because a lot of times I think experiences with paranormal stuff is really amazing. It's really cool when you get to interact with things you can't see, right? So, well, I guess some of us can see. But anyways, so Sophie, our little toddler, she was passed out. She was asleep. This happened at night. I don't even know what time it was. Do you?
I
didn't pay. It was late.
10:30-ish.
It was later. Yeah, it was definitely dark out. Anyways, so Jeremiah is laying on the bed, and you have to. Okay, so this when I say living quarters over at this, we'll call it the farm. Our farm, just because there's no animals or anything over there, just like it's not a working farm. Nobody actually lives over there. But the living quarters that we have over there, it's just this big open room, and then like one little separate room that's like my dad put in like a shower and like a lavatory and just it's not hooked up yet though.
It's basically just one. It's a one-room cabin, but it does have a separate little bathroom area. But she was standing in the middle of the big main room.
Yeah, like I literally, and the lights were off. All the lights but one were off, and I had got up. I think I got up to get a drink or something. And yeah, I went by the microwave and got a drink of my soda. And as I turned around and I was walking back to the bed, all of a sudden, I swear to God, I felt like I was about to pass out. And I almost felt like I blacked out for a second. But then when I kind of came to, it literally felt like something took their fist, but there was no bony places or anything like that. It just literally felt like a just straight down my spine, like applied pressure straight down the back of my spine from about the middle of my
Go ahead.
From about the middle of my shoulder blades down to like my lower back. And I mean it, but the creepy part to me was it didn't feel like it was coming from the outside of my shirt that I had on. It literally felt like it was like, how do I say this? Like I don't even know how to explain it.
You described it to me as like being inside, right up against your bone.
Yeah, like it freaked me out so bad. And I think did I scream?
Yeah, you did.
And I flipped around because I was sure something was right behind me, and I mean it scared the shit out of me. I mean, it really, really freaked me out, and I've never had anything like that actually happen before. But yeah, like I said, the weird part was it literally felt like it was something to this, but it was like from internally going outward, not externally.
Crazy. And I wonder, almost with you blacking out, even if like something kind of like went through you.
I don't know, but I did, like I literally felt like I like lost a moment or something. It was real. I don't know. But Lena said we could read with them, Stephanie. The teeth? Are you talking about the teeth, Lena? I'm curious if that's what she's talking about.
Bone readings. Yeah.
Dude.
There you go.
I could try that, Lena. Anyways, yeah, I had to.
I think she wanted to ask you if just right offhand, I mean, without knowing any more about it, what would your impression of that experience be?
I mean, like I said, I would just almost think that something kind of went through you, especially with you blacking out like that.
And it did, Jessica. Like, it literally, I felt like I lost a moment. Like, it was weird because it was like, all of a sudden I feel this thing, and then, like, I kind of come to, and, like, I think I screamed. But it was weird because if I screamed, I was unaware that I was screaming.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. You definitely screamed. I'm really surprised it didn't wake Sophie up. But that's not the first experience we've had over there.
No, it's not. Well, it is as far as like something I felt.
Yeah.
Physical.
But I mean, we both had visual experiences over there, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's obvious that there is.
Well, that farm has been in my family. I mean, the kids are the 6th generation. Mm-hmm. That land has been in my family for, oh my God, over 100 years. Man, that's not something everybody can say. Over 100 years, this land. But, yeah, and I know that let's see, how does this go? My mother's grandma, or my grandma's mother, she had Alzheimer's or dementia, I'm not sure which one. So my grandmother's father, he was out in one of the fields, had a heart attack and died. Right before he died, he instructed his wife, my grandma's mother, to run to the neighbors and get help. And somehow she wasn't so far gone at that point. She made it to the neighbors, which the closest neighbor, I don't even know how close the closest neighbor would have been at that time.
Right.
But it was a little ways away, and she made it there. So yeah, so that would be my great grandpa. He, as far as the story goes that I understand it, he died out there. I don't know who else has died out there on that land, but I know that it goes back quite a. That's one way.
That's one way to connect with your ancestors, what Lena said.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, so it would be my great grandpa. He died out there, and then my grandma and her sister had to put their mother in a nursing home after that because they couldn't care for her. But
right.
But yeah, we've seen some.
I feel like it's something else that like went through you and whatnot. Cause I almost get a sense like it's just draining everything I have right now. Like my head got real lightheaded as we were talking about it.
Man, really,
it was crazy. Like it was.
That's interesting.
Just trying to see what I would get, but yeah, it's very draining. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Man. So Lena said great grandma is in the kitchen. Lena, elaborate on that. When you say great grandma is in the kitchen, are you talking about like our kitchen at our house right now, or are you talking about like the kitchen over there at the living quarters area? I'm just curious what she. Sorry, I just glanced down and saw she made that. Oh, Christy had a good point. She said maybe they know you are aware you came home.
Yeah.
So I have to clarify something. So there's a picture that I posted on Facebook a little while ago is of this barn with these 3 like big, what are those wheel things called?
The wheel?
The wheels that were leaned up against.
Wagon wheel?
Yes, so that barn is one of the original barns that was over there. And then there was a house directly, well, I don't know, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet from where the living quarters are now. And that house was the original house that, like, my grandma grew up in when she lived over there, if I understood it correctly. And like that's where like her mother lived, and so there is like a lot of old energy and stuff over on that land.
Yeah.
But remember last summer we were celebrating, was it Lunacid? Which Sabbath was it?
Yeah, it was Lunacid.
We were celebrating Lunacid, and we had all the kids over there, and the kids all had flashlights, and it's just kind of this open area where we were celebrating. And all of a sudden, we had a bonfire going, and I looked up, and I swear to you, off in the distance, there's a fence row, okay? And all of a sudden, I saw a very distinct silhouette of something running and then was gone. And I thought it was one of the kids.
Yeah.
Like, and then I realized, like, none of the kids were over there. Like, they were all in the other direction.
Right.
And Jerica's watching. Hi, Jerica.
But yeah, that was really interesting. I mean, I could see when you saw that, I could see the blood drain from your face. So
that's creepy as shit.
Have you guys ever investigations over there or anything?
No, we have not. We've talked about it and kind of toyed with the idea, but and we would like to, but we just haven't had the opportunity really, just because
when you saw lights that one time.
Yeah,
one of the first few times we went out there, like, since we've been together,
first time.
The first time I took you out there, because I didn't take you out there for a while, or a little while anyways. Yeah, that was wild, because you saw those.
Yeah, it was like
I didn't see it. I didn't see what he's talking about.
Are you familiar, Jessica, with the term ghost lights?
No.
It's like a light. I guess it would be kind of comparable to an orb, but it's a light that usually you see it off in the distance in an unpopulated area that you can't really discern a source for.
Okay.
And so I saw. And I've seen it a couple of times. I saw it a couple of times that first time.
You sure freaked my mother out when you told her about that. Oh my God, it freaked her out.
So, but there's a from where the cabin is now, it looking straight across, from the front porch of the cabin. If you look straight, I think it's to the south. If you look straight south, there's a creek, and then a couple of tree lines, and then there's a hill back off in the distance that if you could see through the trees at the kind of the end of that hill, you would see that you would be looking right at the old home site. And it was right in that general area where I saw these ghost lights.
Man.
And it was a pure white light. It wasn't that greenish glow of a firefly or anything like that. So I don't know. I haven't seen it since, but I did definitely see it that time, and I never have been able to explain it, and I don't know what to think about it. So
yeah, that was weird, because there's nobody out there. Like, and there's nobody. Like, it's.
Well, there's lots of people out there. They're not that we can see usually. So.
Well, when I say, like, nobody out there, I'm talking about, like, there's nobody that could have, like, a little fire going, or,
right.
Humans, like, physical human bodies, that could have created any kind of a light in the area. Oh, and Lena's specifically talking about on the farm in the kitchen area, I think is what she's saying.
Okay. Jessica, did you have the chance? I don't remember if you had heard any of the buzz, but did you have the chance to go back and look at the last few seconds of the video when we had David Mitchell on here?
Yeah.
What was your impression of that?
That was definitely something paranormal. I know, because I even had seen it in one of the other videos, the one, I think it was 2 weeks ago, when you got up and you walked out of the room to get something.
Uh-huh.
And you could see the difference from when, like, you stood up in the shadow that, you cast when you walked by, whereas when they were just sitting on the couch.
Right.
All of a sudden, you just see the shadow go by and nobody else is moving.
Right. That was...
I played that one back a lot. It showed everybody.
That was I've been trying, and I still just can't explain that one, but I actually have a short clip of that I want to play
Ooh,
for
did you get it?
everyone.
Did you get it?
I did.
Oh, fabulous.
That I want to play for everyone that is watching, so that they can kind of see what we're talking about. Because I don't know, I was excited as hell for catching this. Cause
I can't believe we caught it at the same time.
I know, right?
Like, what?
So here we go. I'm gonna play this right quick.
That sounds like, what is it, Hephaestus?
And
Your Greek archetype, honey. We still have no explanation.
I think we are going to end up
coming
having
up
to.
here
I'm not
just
seeing
really
any
quick.
questions, but I think
See
we
the
are going
camera
to end
start
up
to kinda
having to
move right
like
there.
stretch it out an hour and a half.
boom, there it is.
That's so
The show.
creepy.
Yeah,
Oh
one
my
of them
God.
said thank you for.
Not stopping it.
Yeah.
at-
Don't know,
at
and I
8:30, yeah.
apologize,
Yeah.
Jessica.
What
I
time
know
is
you
it?
can't
It
see this,
is
but it's just
8:45.
What
the
Hour and 15
So-
minutes.
Time is such. You're gonna play it again?
it'll loop. So I'll let it play through a couple of times.
I'm giving him an evil eye, like, what do you want? And there's
Or
some.
maybe it's
Yeah.
Time is such a
Oh,
funny
that's
thing.
where the
because
camera
it's like when
froze.
you don't even think about it, it goes.
that's where the camera froze.
Sounds
There it
like,
goes.
What is it, Hephaestus? Oh, Lena asked if we got the growls
Your
too.
Greek archetype.
I have not had the chance to go back and look
I think
for.
we are
I
going to
did
end up
hear
having
some
to.
of the growls.
I'm not seeing any questions, but I think we
but
are
I
going to
haven't
end
had
up
the
having
chance
to
to go back and look
stretch
for
it
them
out an hour and a
individually and
half.
clip the audio out.
The show.
Yeah, one of them
that
said thank
shadow,
you for-
Oh,
I
that's
just
Not stopping it
Yeah.
at
because
8:30.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
still. I
And
mean,
what
I'm
time
turning
is
my
it?
head.
It is
But the
8:45.
light is directly above me.
Hour and 15
It's kind of
minutes.
actually in that.
Time is such.
It's between me and where Stephanie and David are sitting, so I can't. It's.
Sorry, kids.
I would have to reach way over
Evil eye, like, what do
to
you
cast
want?
any kind of a shadow,
And
especially
there's-
because
Yeah.
the camera
Time is
was
such a
probably
funny
3
thing
feet
because
from me.
it's like
So
when you don't even
to
think about
get
it,
any
it's
kind of a
Seems-
shadow that's going
Sounds
to
like,
affect
what
that
is it,
camera,
Hephaestus?
I can't explain that. It
Your
just
Greek archetype, honey.
I'm tall, but I'm not that damn tall.
I think we are going to end up
Right.
having to. I'm not seeing any questions,
What
but I
was
think
your
we are going to end
your
up having
impression
to
of
like,
that
stretch
just
it out
from
an hour and a half.
your senses?
The show.
Yeah, one of them
Jessica?
said thank you for.
Not stopping it
Yeah.
at 8:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What time is it?
It is 8:45.
What the hell?
Hour and 15 minutes.
Time is such.
Oh, you're not. There was some talk
Sorry.
among some of the other viewers that
And there's
that there's
Yeah.
a male
Time is such a
presence
funny
here in
thing
the
because
apartment.
it's like when you
There's
don't even think about it, it
Scenes.
There's also a female.
there's some
presence.
talk of another
Your Greek
an
archetype,
older
honey.
female presence, which we really
I think
think
we are going to
the one
end up
that's
having
really
to.
constant here,
I'm
we
not seeing
really
any
think is
questions, but
my
I think we are
grandmother.
going to end up having to
just
like,
because
stretch
she
it
was
out an hour and
that
a
type,
half.
she doesn't leave
show.
anything undone.
Yeah, one of
and
them
she-
said
she's
thank you
gonna
for-
hound me until
Not
I
stopping
get
it
things right.
at 8:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
someone
time
has
is
just
it?
the way she
It
was.
is 8:45.
What the
And I
hell?
love her for it, but
Hour and 15 minutes.
Time is such.
I
Yeah, Dave even said, Jeremiah, you weren't moving
Sorry,
in any way
kid
that
just
could
opened
affect
the
the
door.
light
I'm
wind
giving him
shadow
an evil
wind.
eye, like,
what do Right. you
There's no way. Like, because you weren't perpendicular to us. You weren't even. You
Yeah.
weren't even.
Time is such a funny
Close
thing
enough to
because
us that
it's
you
like when
could
you
have
don't even
affected
think
our
about it.
cameras.
right.
Scenes.
You know what I mean?
Sounds
Like,
like what is
it's
it?
not
Hephaestus? The
not possible.
your Greek
I
archetype.
don't know. I don't. I can't explain it.
I think
So-
we are going to end up
We need to
having
call-
to.
what's his name?
I'm not seeing any
Huh?
questions, but I think we are going to end up having to
Yeah.
like stretch it out an hour and a
Oh
half.
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah,
that the name of the show that he did?
yeah, yeah,
The Unexplained. Is that
yeah.
what it's
Call
called?
him, see what he
Call
thinks
him,
about
see
it.
what he thinks. Yeah.
But if you look close, you can see someone walk by or run by.
So
yeah.
what's crazy about that though? What Jenny just said. You know, when we went frame by frame, you could not catch that. You
Right.
could not catch because if you're watching it in real time like that, it looks like somebody's going one side to the next. But when we went frame by frame, and it was what 30 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
It was like light,
Dark.
really dark, light again.
Yeah.
And you would have thought
it
you
was
was in
hard.
you would have
I mean,
thought you were in a separate room
You can
from Dave and I.
You can discern very definite motion from one side to the other
Yeah.
when it's playing at regular speed. It just isn't when you when you play it frame by frame, the changes at that speed are so gradual. It's hard to discern it with your eye. So
Yeah.
because we're
But it
not
literally looks like somebody just got up and like ran across the room.
Yeah.
right.
It does. It really does, man. Oh my gosh. That was wild.
So,
That was wild.
If I can keep from kicking stuff over here, what what I'm trying to figure out how to word a question here. Jessica, I know you've had a number of your own experiences with the paranormal. Has there ever been just one or two experiences that just really stuck out at you that kind of affected you to your core?
The door slamming one was probably the worst one for us, just because middle of the night, hearing something like that happen. There's been a couple times that I woke up and boyfriend's running around the house with a gun because he keeps hearing things.
Right.
And it's like, it gets a little overwhelming whenever it's like that. But I've made very clear intentions in certain rooms in the house. Do not come in this room. This is sacred space. I myself haven't had like real crazy experiences yet. My sister, on the other hand, like she will get woken up in the middle of the night to people like screaming her name because they want to talk to her.
Yes, I did.
She's a fun one for that.
Yeah. I totally get that. I've had a couple of those over my lifetime as well. So I know one of them was in one of Brandon's books where I was scratched in a location in Eldon, Missouri. Does that sound right? I can't remember the name of the town, but it was a town that just this house was just crazy, and I was there doing an assist on an investigation with a good friend of mine, and I think we didn't even make it a half hour into the investigation, and I said, okay, guys, I need to take a quick little break here, and I calmly walked upstairs and outside and had someone lift up my shirt and look at my back, and there were 3 claw marks going across my back, and I tell you what, that is
That would definitely be creepy.
yeah.
So
Now I've had something reach out and touch my arm. Like as I was walking in, it felt like it pulled on my shirt.
Uh-huh.
But it didn't really scare me just because I know downstairs in the doorway that's where we get a lot of activity. So I just kind of chalked it up to, hey, whoever's here.
Uh-huh.
While I did live in Kentucky, though, there was one night, and this was before I even really got into metaphysics or anything, but there was one night I got woken up. It was probably about 2:30 in the morning, and I thought that one of the kids was up downstairs because I could hear them clinging around stuff. So I go downstairs, and nobody's downstairs at all. So I ended up walking over to the couch, and I laid down on the couch, and as soon as I closed my eyes, it sounded like somebody was walking across the hardwood floors and then just plopped down right next to me. And I opened my eyes, and there's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
I hightailed it back upstairs so damn quick. I was just like, mm-mm.
oh dear.
Whatever it is, go away.
Oh my god.
But we also had another, this one was just more of a funny one, but my daughter, one year for Halloween, she had a pumpkin, and somehow the top part of it got broken off. And she, of course, was upset and cried that night, but then the next morning we go downstairs, and it had been glued back on. But we didn't have glue in the house.
Wow.
So that one was kind of crazy. It was like, okay, well, we're trying to figure out, like, how did it get
Whoa.
glued back on? Because we had just moved. It's not like we had anything really out and where the kids could get it. And, yeah, it somehow glued itself back on. We still to
Wow.
this day don't know how that one happened.
Man.
Like, it was crazy.
Man.
Wow. Holy cow.
You know, I wish, I don't know, Jessica, if you could pick up on anything like this, or if Lena can, or even Shannon, I don't know. But, so, the house that I grew up in the same house. My parents, they never moved until, like, after I was, like, out of the house for a few years, and then they finally moved. So, I lived in the same house my entire childhood, okay? There was several times that I would always... Even from, like, a little, like, young age. I remember when my mom, she would go jog. And so she'd, like, when I got to a certain age, she'd leave me home alone, you know, for, like, 30 minutes to an hour at a time. And I would be home alone in the house. And sometimes I would just get this feeling just staring at the basement door, like, I really don't want to go down there right now. I just feel like there's this icky feeling. Or, you know, I'd be upstairs and then there'd be like one of the bedrooms upstairs. Ooh, I really don't. I'd always get a feeling like that. Well, then at that particular house was when I started from a young age seeing this like black figure thing up in the corner of the wall that actually turns out to be one of Lena explained to me, one of my guides, right? So it didn't freak me out as bad after I learned that. But my point to all this is that there were several times when I was growing up that I would wake up and I would have scratches either on my chest or on my back. And there would either be 2 or 3 lines. Like,
oh, wow.
You know. And I never have fingernails. Okay, I've never had fingernails. I'm one of those nervous, like, fingernail picker people that always, you know. And so... But until I was older, I just thought it was weird that sometimes I would, you know, go to bed and the next morning, like, wake up and have scratches on myself. Because I know I didn't put them there, and I know I wasn't sleeping with anything that would have scratched me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so... But yeah, I don't know, Jess. Like I said, I don't know if you pick up on stuff like that or whatever, but... I'd just be curious.
I feel like I'm more picking up on, like, your anxiety from it. Like, just staring at the door right now, I'm picturing that, and it's like a knot in my stomach just looking at the door.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, that doesn't surprise me because I had plenty of knots in my stomach from those memories. And it's weird because I remember that shit from when I was, like, little. Mm-hmm. Like, I distinctly remember the first time I saw that black figure thing that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I
was little enough
that... You know what's hard when you're little is, you know, there's nobody really to talk to about that type of stuff. And a lot, like, from what I'm hearing from a lot of, like, my friends is they all completely close themselves off to that because they're scared of it. They think that whatever's going to come in is going to be... vicious towards them, and it's like, no, that's not always the case. I mean, if you set your boundaries and whatnot with everything, I mean, you'll be a little protected, so, but it's just crazy.
But it was crazy, and I'm an only child, and I don't even have like cousins that I grew up around or anything like that, so it was literally like me, my parents, and then, you know, my aunt, and uncle at the time, but they didn't like live with us or anything. It was just me and my mom and dad. And so it was just really weird to me. And I don't know if I just kind of like thought it to be normal. Cause you're right, Jess, like I didn't talk about it to really anybody, you know?
A lot of people don't. A lot of people, it's not that everybody's closed off to it. They just, I don't think, know how to open up to the idea of it.
Right.
Just kind of like out of sight, out of mind, literally, right? Out of sight, out of mind, and we'll just keep on going, and we're not going to talk about it because we can't explain it. So just forget about it, pretend it's not there.
Exactly, and then when they do have experiences, well, you basically just summed it up. But if they do have an experience that they, can't avoid, then they'll just not admit it or just shove it down and don't talk about it to anyone because they don't want to get looked at like they're crazy.
And that is true. You know, I remember my mom. I remember from a young age, she would always tell me like, don't ever go to like a tarot reader because if they tell you something like, you know, avoid the color yellow, then the rest of your life you're going to be freaked out about the color yellow or yellow's a bad sign or whatever. And so I can't help but wonder if she went through something or got a reading from somebody that like scarred her for life and turned her into the person she is today, which I love my mother, don't get me wrong, but you know, like it makes me think, because I know my mom has gifts, like I know she does, and but I think she just kind of like we're talking about, like she just kind of blocked it out, and I'm not gonna deal with this, and we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist until it just goes away. Oh
got
man,
more of the fear-based mentality with it all.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lena said those spirits knew you could communicate and wanted your attention. Maybe that's it, man. Maybe that's it.
I've told you for a while. You think I'm full of shit, but I've told you for a while. I think you do have a mediumship gift.
I don't know, man, but I have to tell you something really funny, Lena. So, okay, this is so funny, guys. So, when Lena said, you know, those spirits knew you could communicate and wanted your attention. So, it's a damn good thing my parents don't have the internet, because my dad would absolutely turn red, have that real tight shit-eating grin on his face, and he would be like, kill me if he knew I was talking about this. So I'm gonna tell you about it, because I know he won't see this. So nobody please call and tell him. Okay. The whole time I was growing up, the house that we lived in, my dad, my mom had told me, like, when I was older, he bought it because it reminded him of like a cabin in Colorado, or because I used to go skiing a lot, and we took lots of trips to Colorado when I was really little. Well, anyways, I'll never forget, in the basement, this house was built, whatever decade this house was built, there was no code, there was no windows, there was no door in the basement, okay? So there was, like, only the one door, okay? Like, there was no other way out of the basement, which I doubt in today, probably codes and stuff like that wouldn't be an option, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and it had, like, brown shag carpet, okay? Like, the real, like, long brown shag carpet, all right? But in the basement, and I never thought about this till I was, like, an adult, but the spirits, I would be real curious what kinds of spirits lived there, because, what is that a picture of? Sorry, I just saw something that caught my attention on the computer screen.
That's a notification on a post I've been following for a while. How do I get that to stop showing up?
I don't know.
There.
Anyways, so my dad had, I swear to God, a stack of Bibles or whatever. My dad had this gigantic gold velvet round bed, like the kind like in Austin Powers, right? Like this giant, and it was round, and it had like one set of sheets, but the comforter was like this velvet gold, and then the headboard was like fabric and like a pillow almost, or whatever. And then, you know, as an adult, I'm like, finally I confronted my dad, and I'm like, what kind of a dude has a gold velvet round bed in their basement? I mean, come on, it was like real weird, right? But I'm thinking like that bed, like I didn't like that bed. I never wanted to be around, like I didn't ever want to sleep in that basement. I didn't ever want to be, I didn't even like going in the same room that big freaking gold velvet round, and no, it did not spin. If anybody was curious if it spun, no, it didn't spin. But I just David said squirrel. Yep. But anyways, but seriously, like that bed down there, I fucking hated that bed. It was like malachite. I just didn't want nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. Malachite is a stone that I don't like malachite. I don't know. Jessica, do you have any stones that you just really don't? I guess that means I need malachite in my life, right? If it's something that you don't want, it means that you need it. Oh, Jesus, Dave. I came from a stork, man. Don't ever... Oh, Dave said... I don't even want to say what Dave said on the chat. Oh God. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, just like, is there a particular stone that you just really just don't like to be around, don't like to see, touch, any of the above?
I'm actually good with the stones now that I've learned how to like balance them out. But when I first started playing with stones, I will say that I had a clear quartz and a tourmaline, and I carried that around everywhere with me. And the clear quartz did nothing but amplify the negative energy in the tourmaline that I was collecting. Mm-hmm. So it really made me very irritable.
Oh, wow.
So then I added rose quartz, and that helped.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
For you, it might just be something that you need to just kind of find the balance with.
Maybe. Well, so what's really interesting to me is, so Lena actually just said, nope, you should avoid malachite. Oh, god dang it, I turned to the screen. Stupid phone. Sorry, guys, hang on. Lena just said, nope, you should avoid malachite if it bothers you. So what's really weird about it is he has a pendulum that was his grandma's, Mima, the one that we talk about, and one end is malachite. What's the other end? Jasper? Leopard jasper?
Leopard jasper.
Leopard jasper. And ever since I saw that, that's the first time I'd ever seen malachite, okay, on that pendulum. And I was just like, I love the color green, but I don't like the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I wasn't really aware of all the different stones and what they mean and all that. And I'm still not very familiar with like a ton of different ones, but I'm learning, which is great. But then we were at one of the fairs, and I went to one of these, a booth, and I was just like, hey, because this lady had a shitload of malachite. And I was like, man, I'm over this, you know, some of the stuff you have is really pretty, but I'm not a fan of malachite. She's like, really? That's interesting. And I was like, well, what does it mean? You know, like what? I finally broke down and was like, okay, maybe I should find out what this stone means, because maybe that it indicates something for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, malachite, malachite, if I remember correctly, it was like, it kind of means like transformation, change, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, healing transformation, yeah.
Yes. Well, then I had this epiphany, and it hit me like a freaking light bulb exploded. Okay? Did you like that visual? Light bulb exploded. So, Jessica, another thing about me, I almost repel. I don't like butterflies. I've never had an affinity for birds. And I remember I went back to our booth and I told Jeremiah, I was like, oh my God, butterflies represent change, transformation. Birds, same thing. You know, it's like seriously, butterflies, like I never have had any kind of an affinity for butterflies at all. I mean, I won't even buy my kids, which is terrible because we have, 4 little girls, but I won't even buy them anything with butterflies on it, and never have, never. And it's weird because I've never put 2 and 2 together. But then when she explained what malachite meant, oh, well, it made sense. It makes sense.
You don't like change.
I don't like big change. Nope. I sure don't.
Yep.
No, and then we happened, and I'm sorry.
And now you get to change.
Because that's what ruled my life. Change, constant change.
Well, see, and it's such a contradiction because I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, but my moon sign is Capricorn, so that would explain why I'm not big on big change. I can handle little change, but not big change. Well, Jessica, do you have anything you want to talk about? I'm sorry, I feel like I have been flapping my lips here like nonstop. I probably have been, but
I don't have anything really specific, so yeah.
Man, it's crazy how accurate astrology is.
Yeah.
Like, it is mind-blowing how creepy accurate. That's when I meet somebody, that's one of the first things I'll ask is, hey, when's your birthday?
Right.
When in reality, I'm like,
Right.
I'm going to figure out what your sign is. Which occurred to me earlier, we were talking about it, and I am not... So, I have learned that if somebody is another fire sign or an air sign, we click. I mean, we really click. Granted, there is, individuals. Every individual is a little different because of their birth chart, but big picture overall, the water signs and the earth signs,
Right.
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's especially water signs, and me are like awkward. It's kind of awkward. Like, I love
I'm trying to think if there's any that I don't mesh well with, but
Cancers.
I can't really think of anybody.
Cancers are
Well,
the one
I'm fine
sign.
with Cancers, though.
Do what?
Yeah. I said Cancer's one sign that I don't really mind, but I also kind of understand it a little bit more now. The
Right.
emotional side of things. So.
Right.
And I'm heartless. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much, you're Sagittarius.
I know.
You're true.
Oh my goodness.
Because I think it's pretty much, I think every sign, I know somebody in my life that's that sign.
Oh yeah, that's
Scorpio
kind
would
of
probably be the closest one.
what?
Scorpio would probably be the closest one to like not getting along with somebody, but
See, and
they're just a pain in the ass.
I was always so like when I found out because I always thought Scorpios were fire signs. Ever since I always thought they were fire signs. You would think that they were, but nope. Scorpio's not a fire sign. But then it's funny because when I learned the 3 fire signs, it's like, oh, yep, that makes sense. We have a little Aries. My dad's a Leo, and I'm a Sagittarius. So yeah, I can see how all of those are.
My daughter's a Leo, and whew, we butt heads like none other. We do.
I love Leos though. Like Leos, I don't know. They're just one of those signs that you either love them or you can't stand it. I think it's really a love-hate relationship with the Leos, but every sign has positive qualities. I mean, every sign has positive and negative qualities. You know. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I would encourage anybody who pulls up that clip from Dave and I, from a couple weeks ago. Anybody who pulls it up, like try to debunk it. Try to see if you can, be the skeptic. Like see if you can figure out.
Are you gonna post a slower clip of it all?
Oh,
yeah,
could.
I will.
You could.
I have to figure out how to do. I want to do a little bit different video arrangement of it with some slow motion and whatnot, and I have to figure out how to do that in my software. But as soon as I can get that done, I'm gonna post that up on the Darkness Live web page or Facebook page, and yeah, we'll see if we can't get more. What's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more in depth with it. We'll also try to get some of the audio out that Lena pointed out to us and whatnot. So yeah, there'll be more to come on that. Plus, we are at some point, relatively soon, we're planning on doing an investigation here. So
Here.
yes.
Here. We should have, who we should have down for the investigation.
Yeah.
Are your ears burning? Are your ears burning who I'm talking to? Maybe. I bet his ears are burning, probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
And her. There they are. They're both on there. I bet they can guess who they are.
But
You're fidgeting. I'm rubbing off on you.
no, I'm just trying to I was just looking at the time and trying to figure out how to wrap things up here a little bit.
Oh, okay, I can
But
just keep going.
you gave me a good segue to that, so thank you.
I know, right? Oh my goodness.
So, what would you? I saw a post, or actually a comment on a post earlier today, Jessica, that gave me an idea for some possible shows in the future of collaborations between different people, like collaborations between a few different readers and that type of thing. Maybe having,
I'm intrigued.
a couple of different readers on the show at the same time, and then having some people call in and do do some over the air readings. Would you be interested in something like that at some point in the future?
It's funny that you actually say that, because just a couple weeks ago that's been on my mind, and that was one of the things that I wrote down in my new moon intentions, is to do a collaboration with somebody. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
I know, it's crazy.
That's so cool. So that's my Viking. Sorry about that. There's a phone call. That was my ringtone.
Yeah.
Is that Helvig? No. What?
That doesn't. It's I can't remember the name of that song, but it's a good song.
It's a really good song. It's so good we can't remember what it's called.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll put our heads together. We'll get you and me and I bet you Lena would be interested,
Shannon.
and maybe if Shannon. See, we'll get a few of us together and see if we can't get something like that going soon, and we'll
Ooh, that would be amazing.
yeah, get that out on the schedule. That would be cool. It'd be a lot of fun, I think. So, all right. Well, do you have any? We got about 5 minutes left. Do you have anything else
That's
that you
a
want to
suggestion.
that you want to throw out there, Jessica? Before we
I don't think so. Not right at the moment. I'm sure after we get off the phone, I'll be thinking of all sorts of
oh yeah,
Hey.
that's the way it always works.
I
so.
thought of
Yeah.
a question for you. So, do you actually have somewhere where you do readings out of, or do you primarily just do over the phone readings? Or if somebody was curious about your readings, how would they get in touch with you?
I actually do right now just online readings. Now, family and stuff, they come over and I'll do them for them in person. But everything I do right now is just out of the house.
Okay.
Cool.
Because I was like, ooh, yeah, like if somebody was curious and wanted to get the the ginger table tarot. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. But no, the red table tarot, which I love your name, by the way. I would be curious with everybody who has their names for their, we'll just call it a shop, their professional name or whatever. Well, no, it wouldn't be professional name. What would it be called? Just shop name?
Yeah,
Their how everybody came up with their came up with their, that would be a really cool
You kind of just gotta let it just come to you.
so like
That's
it
what I
picks
found.
you, like it kind of picks you in a sense rather than you pick
Yeah.
it.
You just send that question out into the universe and let it come back to you.
See,
Yep.
that's what I'm doing, waiting for my next pet spider to just show up.
You can come get the one off of my deck right now that stood up right in my face yesterday as I walked out the door. That's twice
See?
this week now that I've had a spider right in my face.
You just
as I
need
walked out the
to
door.
you just need to go down to your local pet shop and get it some crickets, and then it'll be a happy fat little spider.
Oh my
I'll just get a
goodness.
hold of it.
One other quick question, Jessica. Do you have a standalone website, or do you just work primarily off of Facebook?
Just on Facebook right now.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We will definitely put
I'll
it
put
up
the
there, the link.
I'll put the link for your Red Table Tarot page up on the video description as soon as we're off air. So.
All right. Sounds good. So thank you guys.
Thank you
Absolutely,
so
thank
much.
you. I've really enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has.
I know
I can't wait to
we're
meet you guys in person.
yes.
Say it again. What'd she
I
say?
said I can't wait to meet you in person.
I know. When is that going to happen?
Hopefully, probably Casey met her, I'd probably imagine. Right now.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
We were talking about, and you were like considering not going. It's like, no, you have to come back. Just put blinders on and come find our booth.
Yes.
I always come back. I say that I'm not going to, but I always end up coming.
It's
I
like
love
a
the
bad.
workshop
It's like a. Actually, I can't even think of a good analogy for it. Never mind. There's no analogy for Casey Meta other than it's freaking Casey Metaphysical. It's
it's
amazing.
awesome. It's
a-
It is a
awesome.
lot of fun.
It's a just this amazing gathering 3 times a year.
So, thank you so much once again,
Yes,
Jessica.
thank you so much.
And
Guys.
we will we'll be chatting about these ideas that we're talking about.
Yes.
Of course, yeah. Just let me know.
Very cool.
All right, darling. It was so nice to talk to you, and we'll be in touch soon. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you.
You have a
thank
good night.
you.
You too. Bye.
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 She's
That was
so
awesome.
amazing.
That was awesome.
I just liked her. Before I even had a conversation with her,
Mhm.
you know, just the feeling I got by her and the interaction and everything like that I would see pop up and whatnot. I'm just like, man, I really want to get to know this lady. Like, I think I would really like her. And sure enough, I really do. She's
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
she is, guys. She is spot freaking on with her reading she did. Like, I swear it seems like I say every reading I've ever had is spot on, but every reading I've ever had is spot on. It's just, I guess, like the types of readers that we've met and had the privilege of interacting with, or had the privilege of getting readings from. They've just been amazing, you know? Yeah. But yeah, Jessica, thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Lena, thank you so much for picking the number 32. Yeah, it was so crazy because earlier today, I literally thought to myself, 33, it's going to be 33. And then Jeremiah and I were talking about how we were going to pick our number. And he had suggested doing the random
number generator.
Random number generator. And then I was like, no. And then we're sitting here and I'm like, let's have out Lena. Lena can pick a number. Lena can pick a number. And then that's crazy. She picked 32 and I was thinking 33. And it was close.
All right.
It was close.
You know what? It is.
About that time. Holy shit.
It is. It's
we gotta go.
9 o'clock.
That was a 90-minute show. Exactly.
So.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for logging on and watching. Do us a favor, hit like and share this video. I should have said that at the beginning of the show, and I just spaced it. Had too much going on.
Oh, and Kelly, congratulations on the double ba-boom, whatever. 2 times the winner.
Yep.
So that was really amazing that she. But the cool part about what Kelly won is the fact that she won a thing and a reading.
Yep.
Like she won a tangible thing that we make, and also one of your readings.
So yeah,
that's so cool.
That's awesome. So yes, you know what? Join us again next week, and thank you so much for. I keep pointing over here, but the camera's actually over here. Thank you so much for logging on and watching with us, and we will be back next Monday at 7:30 p.m. And I'm not sure what we're talking about yet, but it'll be good.
You'll find out on Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday. There's the camera right there. Thursday, you'll find out. Oh, and by the way, go to your local Wally World or Target or Hobby Lobby or any of those. They started putting Halloween stuff out, which I am so excited about. So excited about. I can only imagine everybody watching is as much of an enthusiast as we are.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Hit like, share, subscribe, whatever, wherever you're watching, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, don't be afraid of the dark.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a week. Bye.